Hello Year 6, I hope you're all well. Welcome to another week of home learning. Now for this week within our English we're going to be looking at the grammatical skill of using a semicolon to link two clauses together. We've done this before within class and it's good reinforcement for you, and what we're asking is that you have a go at trying to use a semicolon to join two clauses together within upcoming pieces of writing. So let's have a look then. First of all, we need to think about a main clause to start off with. I'm going to use a simple one. It was cold. That's one main clause. And then I'm going to think about another clause which could be linked to being cold. The sun was shining. Now, rather than having two separate clauses, we could link those together within one sentence. So we can join our second clause to our first clause because they could be related. Now, one of the ways we could do this is with using a semicolon. So let's have a look to see how this works. I'm just going to forget the second clause and start with our first clause. It was cold. Now I want to add that extra bit of information on our second clause to our first clause. I could do that by using a semicolon and then adding that second clause on. So I've now manipulated the sentence to use a semicolon here. It was cold, semicolon, the sun was shining. Now, a good way to think about using a semicolon is that semicolon could be replaced by a conjunction. So let's have a look. It was cold and the sun was shining. So that semicolon could replace the conjunction and. Could you think of another conjunction the semicolon could replace? That's good. Another conjunction the semicolon could replace is maybe although. It was cold, although the sun was shining. So that's one example. Let's have a look at another example. John opened the drawer. Now I want to use a semicolon here and add another clause at the end. It was empty. So I've got two main clauses and I've joined those together with the use of a semicolon. Now, like we did in the first example, that semicolon could be replaced by a conjunction. Have a think what conjunction that semicolon could replace. That's correct. One of them could be and. John opened the drawer and it was empty. So those are just two examples of how you could use a semicolon to link two clauses together. And those clauses need to be related to one another. Top tip, think about when you use a semicolon, could you replace it with a conjunction? If you can, that's a good way of using a semicolon. Good luck with trying to use that within your pieces of writing this week and future weeks. We'd love to see some great examples of the use of a semicolon. Keep up the great learning, keep positive. See you next week.